happened was the violence broke out in Rotterdam. The Netherlands police were forced to actually get out water cannons. Turkish Dutch citizens were angry that the Turkish minister of the family was detained by the Dutch police at the consulate before being further escorted to Germany. They're going at it. Did you see that baton flinging? They brought out police dogs. Ow. Ow. No. Got the horses out.
They're bringing in the cavalry.
Look what these Turkish people are doing to the Netherlands. Look what they're doing. Look at the looting. Look at the destruction. Do you want these people in your country?
It's so weird to me that the Turkish people are in the Netherlands, because if you know anything about geography, they're not exactly close.
They're all over Europe.
I know.
Why are they? Why? Well, we know why. And here's the...
This is what we played starting out with. They're spreading like a virus.
On purpose, because you see what they've done in Iran, you see what they've done in Iraq, you see what they've done in Saudi Arabia, turning these into these predominantly Muslim countries, a dictatorship, because their religion teaches them to conquer the world and to lie to do it. Lie to your enemy, right?
I didn't see the water cannons though. Oh, there they are. Speak of the water cannons.
These men are so hyped up on adrenaline and testosterone. Where are their wives? Where are their children? And why are they making war?
Probably back in Turkey.
In the Netherlands. Look at this. This is not your country. I guess it is, but they...
Now, an intensive diplomatic standoff is unfolding between the Netherlands and Turkey. The Turkish family minister, who is on a visit to the Netherlands, has been ordered to leave the country and has reportedly been detained pending deportation. She was earlier denied entry to the Turkish consulate in Rotterdam. Here is the moment. She was surrounded by police and escorted away from the building. Now, the minister has accused the Netherlands of breaking international law. This happened after the Netherlands refused to allow the Turkish foreign minister's plane to land. The decision sparked protests from Turks both in Turkey and the Netherlands. Our Europe correspondent Peter Oliver has the story.
There was another instance before this where they wouldn't let the foreign minister's plane land, and of course...
Good for the Netherlands.
Well,
what we're seeing is a very serious row that threatens to boil over even further between the Netherlands and Turkey. The Turkish diplomatic compound in Rotterdam was sealed off. We've also hearing that Dutch compounds inside of Turkey are also being secured and no entries being allowed there. Now, Ankara has responded to this latest development by saying that the Dutch ambassador to Turkey isn't welcome to return from his holiday. He's been told not to come back to Turkey, and it all started off regarding the Netherlands when the Turkish foreign minister, Mevlut Cavusoglu, was denied entry. Now, we say he was denied entry. His plane was denied a permit to land in the Netherlands.
So it was his plane.
This was something that resulted in him responding quite angrily indeed.
Unfortunately, the European Union and several countries in Europe, primarily the Netherlands, are bringing back the atmosphere of World War II. The same racism, Islamophobia, xenophobia, and anti-Semitism. They say they cancelled the lending permission due to security concerns. So, is the foreign minister of the Republic of Turkey a terrorist? What kind of security are you talking about? Or are citizens who would have been at the rally Turks? Are they terrorists?
Cavusoglu had intended to meet with members of the Turkish community in the Netherlands. This is ahead of a controversial referendum that's taking place in Turkey in April of this year. Now, that referendum could see President Erdogan given, far greater powers over how he can conduct his rule in the country. And Çavuşoğlu and other ministers are trying to garner support from the Turkish community in countries such as the Netherlands and such as Germany. Now, President Erdogan responded angrily to the news that his foreign minister had been turned away.
You can stop our foreign minister's plane all you want. Let's see how your planes will come to Turkey from now on. They do not know politics or international diplomacy. These Nazi remnants, they are fascists.
Diplomatic spats usually move along at a snail's pace, but in just a couple of hours we've seen Turkish-Dutch relations lying in tatters. Now, Prime Minister Mark Rutte in the Netherlands is fighting a very tough election at the moment, and immigration is a key issue. Now, he may be thinking he has to show that he's tough when it comes to dealing with foreign nations. But what other countries in Europe and some in his own country are going to be thinking, how tough is he willing to get? There is, of course, a very important refugee deal, migrant deal, between the European Union and Turkey. And President Erdogan has threatened to scrap that in the past. Should relations keep falling like the dominoes they are across Europe, Germany first, now the Netherlands, well, what could happen is that Erdogan and the Turkish authorities could say, we're not going to keep migrants here, and allow a lot more people over the border into the European Union, which of course could cause more consternation like we saw a couple of years ago with the large amounts of people arriving here in Europe.
The Netherlands is one of several European nations to have banned Turkish officials from holding rallies ahead of Turkey's April referendum. Germany, Switzerland, and Austria have taken similar steps, citing security concerns. Now, the Turkish government has been trying to drum up support from Turks in Europe for a new constitution granting extra powers to President Erdogan, and the rally bans have provoked fury from Ankara. Now, Turkey has accused Germany of choosing sides in the referendum and meddling in its internal affairs. Now, the Turkish foreign minister added that Germany has to decide whether or not the countries are friends. Meanwhile, German Chancellor Angela Merkel called on Ankara to tone down the harsh language.
Okay, so what you saw there is he was calling them
Nazis and fascists.
and bringing back the
World War
essence of
II.
World War II. So what I have to tell you is that they are bringing war. This guy is not your friend.
No.
Okay, this guy is not a friend of the West. He's not a friend of Christians, and he's no friend of the Jews. Okay?
Yeah, no. Anti-Semitism is against, like, Israel and against Jewish people. So that's what Muslims are. And if their country is primarily Muslim and they're pushing a Muslim ideology, what they accuse of they're guilty of. And did you notice how that guy said that president's rule, Erdogan, his rule? He's a president.
So this is what you get, right? Listen, when we protest, we don't go out into the streets and break things and scream and stop traffic.
We don't protest, but when normal people do.
But this is the same kind of protesting that's happening in America, this, on the left.
Yeah.
On the same that's happening in the UK, the same that's happening in France. It's this Muslim commie rhetoric that causes these.
Because it pushes for violence.
Pushes for violence. It's a violent rhetoric.
Yeah.
It's a violent ideology.
And they're not showing this on the mainstream media. Certainly not here. I can almost guarantee you it's not on the BBC.
Yeah, probably pieces of it.
But not entire, and it's going to be totally twisted.
I think that pretty much everybody in Europe knows that Erdogan is not a great guy, but you don't want to push too far.
Like, if this was happening in my city,
Seriously, like what if it's right outside your door?
oh my gosh.
What if it's downtown? People, look at that guy running. Look at the mess.
I like that their police have dogs, right? Sometimes a dog is a lot scarier than a gun.
So you have to, this is not racist to say that these people,
Oh, no way.
these Turkish people, are not helpful here. Okay? So there are several prime ministers underneath the president.
In Turkey?
Yes. And the Prime Minister Yildirim said the conduct of the Dutch authorities towards the deported minister was a mistake, as he accused them of violating all diplomatic international rules, of disregarding her immunity, and by banning the arrival of Turkish officials. The Netherlands is violating the Vienna Convention. But
come on.
I like that. Well, first I'm going to read this one more time. The people in the Netherlands are not happy, and neither is the president, who actually is running against Geert Wilders right now. When Erdogan said Nazi remnants, Bosnich asserted that the Turkish leader was not pulling these things out of a bag, as more Dutch volunteered in the SS than the Germans did. Now, the president came back, and I'm not sure of a video. The president of the Netherlands said, "Dude, we were bombed. We were bombed
What a joke.
by the Nazis." So everyone has this Nazi rhetoric. Here in America, you're a Nazi, you're
And
a fascist.
so
And
you
so
have
the
to go back-
Muslims are taking this weird...
Where are they getting it from? If you're hearing it constantly from one political kind of agenda, which is pro-Islam, pro-Muslim, pro-New World Order, pro-European Union, if you're kind of hearing that...
Look at this. Paul Joseph Watson tweeted this. The pro-Erdogan paper says only 48,000 Dutch troops, but 400,000 Turks living in Holland. Is this a threat?
Wow.
Is that a threat?
Yeah.
That's in the paper. You know, don't be afraid. You can do your thing. You know what I mean? There's more of you than there is of them. That's what they're saying. But this was kind of funny. I thought, here's some Turkish people. They thought that they were burning the Netherlands flag or something, but they were actually burning the French flag. So, and they had to get...
They didn't even know the difference?
I don't know, but that was their protest with all their Turkish signs flying everywhere. And I wanted to bring up this this picture here. This is from a rally in a migrant area of Fittja in Sweden. I think it was today, or it was on the 12th, so yesterday. These are not refugees. This is a foreign army in Sweden, is what the tweet says. So they saw what happened, and they met together, and this is in Sweden right now.
With Turkish flags. Because they're all...
So why are they getting together? Why is this? You have to recognize the enemy within your country. These are not people who move and immigrate. When our ancestors immigrated
to America,
they did not form these enclaves to come and take over America, to bring their ideals to America. They came because they wanted to be a part of American ideals.
Yeah.
You know, Judeo-Christian values. And I guarantee you Muslims aren't going to Christian countries because they want to take part in Judeo-Christian values.
Probably not.
But one of the things Katie Hopkins said was, why is it that Christians aren't going to these Muslim countries, but Muslims are coming to Christian countries? It's a really good question. Number one, you have the freedom to do so, right? Because we allow freedom of religion here. But did you know that in Turkey you can't be a Christian and be part of the military? You can only be Muslim.
I did not know that. No, I did not know that.
Yeah, there's a lot of persecution there.
There's a lot that Leah and I are learning, and we have always been very aware and done a lot of research, but apparently not enough. And we're learning a lot right alongside with you guys as we do this research. So we appreciate the articles, we appreciate the comments, we appreciate the word from the people that are on the ground in these places. It means so much to us to hear from you guys who are there in these European countries.
So these issues are actually, I hate to say it, they're bringing the rats out of hiding.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that based on race or nationality or even religion.
No way.
Because the Islam, and I feel like I am confident in saying this, Islam is not a religion. It's a set of
political ideologies.
Political ideology and how that you govern other people in totalitarian ways. And so stick with us because we're going to do this in a 3-part segment. The other 2 segments aren't going to be nearly as long, but this is the essence of what happened in the Netherlands over the weekend.
Which is
and what's
so
happening
important
right now.
because Gert, this election is going to be happening this week. Very, very important that we get this out there.
And Gert will, and he's, the Netherlands government isn't like necessarily the American government. His party might not have the oomph to get a lot of things done, but still he would have a voice, a national voice to do things. And his voice needs to be there because if it's not there, then literally this whole thing is going to collapse. And we have a lot of viewers from the Netherlands. I'm sure this year going to flood us with corrections. Teach us.
Yes.
We want to know. We want to bring forth. I mean, I said something to somebody in Austria the other day. What's going on in your country? Let us know. I don't.
Right.
You know. We know
we're not there. We can't be.
Right. And unfortunately in America we have such a small view. And in the stories that I was doing, I was thinking around the world in 80 days or World News Tonight, and we used to have a segment. I still do World News Tonight. They do it like the entire world news in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Right? But you can't do the entire world news in seconds. And I read the newspaper and I get clips and excerpts, but it doesn't delve deeply into these issues. And if they do, they're spun in a liberal agenda.
Absolutely. So we really can't, the research can only go so far without hearing from you guys. So we are really dependent upon you guys giving us the information that you have. It's very, very important that you do that. So we're going to sign off here for now. We're going to be kind of focusing on the Netherlands a lot this week because it's really important what's happening there and the whole global view of what's happening. So, all right, that's it. This is Leah Michelle signing off for right now for Resistance Chicks, where it is not a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring the bell for notifications so you get an email every time we put out a new video, and find us on Facebook and Twitter. And we'll see you guys back in a bit. God bless.
And Turkey wants to bring Islam to the European Union.
I was cold all alone, no place for home every day, so afraid, but you called my name.